Testing 1 2 3.
Check.
Testosterone. Check. Welcome to the Pale Horse. Yo,
We're live.
we live.
Let's introduce our guest.
We got AP, big dog.
We got the big dog.
Big dog.
What up?
One of the coolest dudes that I've ever met.
Thank you.
We brought him on today to tell some crazy stories. Alex, what's the background? Where you came from, son?
All right, so the background is, let's see, I used to have a serious drug problem, and I've been to prison multiple times, so I'm here to tell a couple of stories about prison, and maybe we can spark some conversation about some problems with the system and see what happens from there.
Yep. Did you grow up here in Washington?
No, I actually grew up. Well, I was born in Idaho. I moved to Hawaii when I was in third grade. I was in Hawaii until I was 18 years old, until I graduated high school, and then I moved to Washington. And after I got to Washington, I got mixed up with some bad people, bad scenes, got into some trouble, did some things I'm not proud of, and did my time, and here I am, a free man, talking to you today.
Good shit. Yeah. What'd you do?
So, that's you never ask somebody from prison what they've done. No. I'm
What did you allegedly
I will.
do?
What are you in here for?
What did you allegedly do?
My lawyer told me not to talk about it.
So allegedly.
No. So, I have multiple counts, actually.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. They say I broke into a couple of houses and stole some shit, stole a couple of cars, sold those cars to chop shops.
Allegedly.
The funny thing is, here's the funny thing about my story is that I sold a stolen car to a chop shop. Well, that chop shop turned out to be a cop shop.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So here's what happened is here I am, a 21-year-old crackhead, probably 90 pounds. I think your 7-year-old daughter was buffer than I was at that point.
Couldn't imagine, to be honest.
Yeah, it was extremely...
Look like Hercules now.
Well, yeah, it took a long time to get there, but I was extremely emaciated at this time. And so here I am walking through Bellevue, opening random car doors and looking for cars to, pillage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hoping to find something I can sell for some money so I can get my fix.
Yep.
And I happened to open up a car door to a car that had been dropped off by a dealership that same day. Right? So what they do is they drop the car off and they leave the keys in the middle console so that, you can just come outside in the morning and there's your brand new car ready for you to drive to work or whatever you want to do.
I would never go for that option. That sounds like the wrong option. Because the motherfuckers
because
like
of
you
people
allegedly.
like me, right? Yeah. Exactly. And so in hindsight, it's not a very good idea for the dealership to do, but they do it. And so I steal this car and
Allegedly.
Yeah, somebody stole the
Someone
car.
stole the car.
Someone stole the car.
So this car got stolen.
This car got stolen. Somehow I got in control of it. So I'm basically driving around breaking. I was wild, dude. I was breaking into houses. I would just go to
Thug life.
I would just, I know. It was crazy. Dude, I could have got shot very easily. I'm very lucky that didn't happen.
Yep.
But I'm driving around this stolen car. I'm thinking to myself, God, that was really easy. I was thinking,
too
you know what's
easy.
funny is I was thinking what a good criminal I was at the time. I was like, I am just a really good criminal. I'm really good at this. So I'm driving around,
Feeling like a
breaking
big
into
dog.
houses. Yeah, big dog shit. We're doing man shit over here. Actually, no, it's actually not man shit.
Criminal man shit.
I cannot endorse that at all.
We don't condone that.
We will not condone it, but at the time, it's what happens.
Stealing's bad.
Yep.
Kids.
Yeah. So I'm driving around, stealing, breaking into houses. I stole some guns.
Allegedly.
Oh,
I stole some computers, jewelry. I mean, all kinds of shit. And so my biggest mistake was that I did it with somebody. I did it with a co-defendant. I had a co-defendant when I did this. So I had somebody who
They snitched on you?
exactly.
They fucking rolled over like a dog.
Exactly. Well, so fast forward like 3 months, right?
I don't know who that guy is, but you're a bitch.
Yeah, he is a bitch. I don't know where he is either. In fact, I've never seen him to this day. Even after I got out of prison, he had like left the state. So, I mean, you know.
Better.
Yeah, exactly. But
Shit.
so what happened was this dude got really high on heroin and he's driving one of the stolen cars that we had. So we had 4 stolen cars. I had a brand new.
You don't do same day delivery to chop shops?
Well, so and it was actually later that I found out where the chop shop was. This is like a culmination of things. This is a very like how I got caught.
You were on a spree?
It was definitely a crime spree, and there was multiple factors to me getting caught. Like it wasn't just like this dude said. It's not like this dude's word was good enough that he could just tell on me and fucking have it be like the cops would be like, oh okay, you know, let him free. Like he worked with the cops to get them some good
hell
evidence
no.
against me. But what happened was at this time we had like 4 stolen cars, right? And so we hadn't been to the chop shop yet. But the first thing that started my ascent to prison was this kid that I was doing the crimes with. He's driving around high on heroin, falls asleep, gets into an accident, and
Some Seattle
cops,
shit.
Yeah, the cops come. They find out the car's stolen. They take him in. They question him. So this dude tells them everything about everything that we've done, except the only thing that he kind of exaggerates is his involvement in the crimes. Like, so this dude, his name is Joel. Joel tells them that basically he's just the driver and I do all the criminal activity. Like,
What
he drives
the
me around
fuck?
and I go into the houses, which isn't true at all. Like, we would go in together, you know
He was
what I
trying
mean?
to say he was your pimp criminal.
Yeah, he was trying to, exactly.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Fucking Joel.
So, when this happened, right? Like, what they did, and I only found out later when I was in jail reading my discovery, because they give you when you're in jail, facing trial, they give you a document about that sums up all the evidence they have on you, how they collected it. You know what I mean? Kind of just
We got you, bitch.
yeah, basically just telling you, you know, you're fucked, don't go to trial. So, when I'm reading my discovery, this dude had told them that he drove me around, that he brought them everywhere we'd ever been. So, when these cops eventually do arrest me, they take my shoes and they take my phone. They match my footprints in houses. They triangulate my location.
What?
Yeah, they ended up racking up about 12 felony counts on me. So this is my
Holy
first time getting in
shit.
trouble. I hadn't even done a day in jail, and I'm looking at 3 years. My first time. So, now the police chop shop. So I have all these stolen cars, and I'm asking people like, hey, do you know where I can sell stolen cars? Like, and that was my first mistake, was, you know,
Asking
Yeah.
people.
yeah, asking people. So finally this dude tells me, yeah, I know a chop shop you can go to in Georgetown. They'll buy it. So I go to this chop shop and I pull into this garage, right? And this big burly dude comes out with a beard, looks like a biker,
Yeah.
just like 300 pounds, looks like a power lifter. Like,
Yeah.
he makes me look like makes me look like mini me. This dude's huge, right? And he's like telling me, he's like, yeah, this is a pretty nice car, but like, can you get me some drugs or guns? You know, that should have been my first. That should have been my first red flag. Like, why does this dude want drugs and guns?
Yeah,
you know, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But, you know, all I was thinking about was getting that money so I could go get high. So he dishes me out $500 bills, takes the stolen car, lets me go.
I think they have to get you like 3 times or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. They let me go, but they definitely had enough evidence when they did pick me up to charge me.
Yeah.
Because when they did pick me up, so what happened was I got arrested leaving my drug dealer's house. So apparently this dude who turned me in also turned in our drug dealer.
Wow.
So they were like surveillancing the drug dealer's house. I leave and we get about 2 miles down the road and we get pulled over by an unmarked car. And so the cops come out and they're like, they come out and they got their guns drawn and they got the microphone. They're like, driver, get out of the car and put your hands on your head and get on the ground. And they're like, so this is when shit gets weird for me. They say, hey, you, the guy in the back seat in the middle, that was me. They're like, get out of the car, put your hands on your head and get on the ground.
They're coming for you.
Yeah, and so
specifically.
Yeah, so they specifically pull me out. They get the driver out so that the driver can't like drive away or anything. They pull me out. They let everybody else go. There's probably like 13 people in this car.
What the fuck? What the hell were you driving?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just lucky I wasn't in the trunk. That's how much people were in this car.
Probably would have been better off.
I know.
Like, they kidnapped me. They made me do it. Yeah. They made me do all of this.
Yeah. Who's Alex? I'm scared.
For real.
Yeah. But anyway, they pulled me out. Long story short, they hit me with all these charges. My public defender, when I first seen her, she's just like, you know, kid, they've got so much evidence on you, like, it wouldn't even be worth it to go to trial. Like, I got a deal for you, because you're looking at 6 years. So they're going to give you 3 years with a DOSA, which is like a drug offender sentencing alternative. So basically, I got half time.
Yeah.
So I go to prison. My first 3 years, I do 2, because you get a third off. And then I'm out on community supervision. I get back
like
into
an ankle monitor.
No, it's not. It's not an ankle monitor. It's basically just like monthly reporting. Like you go every month, give them a UA
probation and shit.
Probation, yeah. And so I mess up again, my second time. Now, the second time I get caught with a stolen car again, and. Yeah, so
didn't learn.
So here's a fun fact. Doing meth and stealing cars go together like cookies and milk. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Way better when I got on meth. Crack? You thought I was good?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's another thing too. Is my first prison stunt I was on crack. My second time, I was on meth and heroin. So that was, I was doing really bad. Well, both times I was doing really bad. Either way. So my second time, I tried to, I elude them. I actually had eluded the police like, allegedly like 10 times before they had finally caught me. And again, I thought, I am such a good criminal. Like, they just cannot catch me.
What made you come back to the life of crime after you got out the first time?
Basically, just not being ready to quit using drugs. Like,
were you not clean in prison the whole time?
I was clean in prison, and the whole time I do very well. I do very well in prison under a. What I found out is that like I do very well under a very structured environment. So like.
So you're meant to be a prisoner. I'm just playing. But no, I get it.
Definitely not meant to, but
I'm just kidding.
I operate well under like.
Should have joined the military.
Yeah, like I know, and I really wish I would have actually, because I do really good in those kinds of environments.
Yeah.
And
so self-discipline sometimes is hard.
Well, actually, no.
You learn self-discipline.
When you learn self-discipline, that's the key to freedom.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And so...
Sound like Jocko.
Yeah.
But...
once I finally found that I could, like, discipline myself...
Yes.
And control my what do they call it, my behaviors or whatever, then that's when I found out that, it's really easy to stay out of trouble.
Yep.
And a lot of that I learned from bodybuilding, which I learned from prison. So when they say that the justice system doesn't work, like, I don't believe that, because...
Well, how long does it take for the justice system to work? Because
it works. It takes a long time.
Okay, I was going to say, because 2 years and then you got right back into it.
Yeah, and so in total, I did six years of my life is how long it took me to learn. So, it's not a perfect system.
Yeah.
But it does eventually click. I mean, for some people. I do know a lot of guys who have been to prison, like, 8-10 times, spent like 40 years of their life in prison.
I know some people like that too.
Yeah, so it doesn't work for everybody. But the key for me was getting into weight training and, living a healthy lifestyle, learning discipline. All these things like really helped me to keep my game tight, keep myself out of trouble.
Yep.
And I'm just a lot happier now.
Your cup of prison discipline is overflowing, and it has flowed onto me and Nick.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, so first time you go to prison, are you lifting weights that time?
So, first time I go to prison, yes, I'm lifting weights at this time. I started lifting weights when I got to prison. Now...
You're 90 pounds, and you start lifting weights?
Exactly, I'm 90 pounds, so... Imagine this. I'm a 90-pound kid, first time in prison, scared to death.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Is rape as common as they say?
It depends on where you're at.
If you're in the rapey part.
Which location were you at?
So, my first time I went to Walla Walla Camp.
Yeah, okay, I know about that.
Yeah. So, Walla Walla is the rape spot.
I was just going to... Is it really?
Yes.
I heard they had a lot of sex offenders at Walla Walla.
Yeah, Camp. And I'm going to tell you why, because Walla Walla is a closed custody prison.
What's that
It's
mean?
actually a penitentiary. That means that they have the worst of the worst there. They have people, Gary Ridgway's there. Anybody who's ever committed, like, murders, who's doing life,
why the fuck were
sex
you there?
offenders, because it's the biggest prison in the state, and they have about they have 3 levels of custody. Now they have the closed custody, which is the penitentiary. That's where the murderers and the rapists go to. Now, the fucked up thing about this is that the rapists can actually get into camp.
What?
So, yeah. Now, rapists actually get out of prison at some point.
Yeah.
We got to remember that these motherfuckers actually come back into society. So they move up from pound me in the ass jail to fucking kids camp jail.
So you're saying that the rapey shit happens at the closed. All right.
Closed custody.
Closed custody. That's where the raping happens. I was never there. The closest I got was in the middle, the medium custody, and that was later on.
Yeah.
My first time...
Bigger than 90 pounds by then, though, right?
Yes, exactly. I was much bigger than 90 pounds by then. So imagine this. I'm a 90-pound kid, scared to death, never been to prison. They hand you, like, a mattress, they hand you a pillow, and they hand you a bag of clothes, and a key and a lock, and they tell you to go to this cell. So we're all of us who got off of the bus, right? We're all sitting in the day room. We get handed our stuff. I'm walking up to my cell, and I'm just like scared to death. I'm like, who is my cellie gonna be?
Yeah.
Like, is he gonna want to rape
Bro,
me?
I'd be sweating.
You're gonna want to rape me. That's what I'm saying. I would have been worried about the same shit.
Yeah.
Fresh and young and shit.
Yeah. So I get up there, I drop my shit. My cellie comes in. I meet my cellie. Come to find out, he's a really cool guy, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
He's in there for a armed robbery.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually, most of these guys, when they're clean and they're not like messed up on drugs, they're actually really cool, really good people.
Yeah, I've had so many people that have been to prison tell me they'd rather spend time in prison than in county. That county is so much worse for everything.
Yeah.
Like, they keep you locked down longer, the people are more disgusting, and just so on and so on.
Yeah, especially because, like, in county, they just come from the streets where they're still messed up on drugs. In prison, they've been clean for a while.
So you gotta go to jail before you go to prison?
Jail before prison, yeah.
Like, people in prison, this is their home, and so they probably don't want to fuck shit up.
Yeah, because I think you can only do about 18 months or something like that in regular jail.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. Like, if you have a lot of different charges that they charge you consecutively, you could do, like, any amount of time in jail, but, like, it's pretty unlikely. Usually they're gonna, like, wrap everything up into one and run it concurrent. So your sentences will all be running at the same time. And but that's how you could do, like, 18 months in jail as if you have consecutive charges. Now, if you have any more than a year, you go to prison. If you have less than a year, you go to jail.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's the basis for it.
That.
But so basically, I sit down, I find my group of friends, right, and they give me this nickname. Now, keep in mind, I'm a
Big
90...
dog?
No, it's even better. My prison nickname ends up being Killer.
Oh.
And it's an ironic nickname because I do not look like a killer at this time. But that kind of gave me the motivation to where, like, man, like, I see all these big dogs around me.
Yep.
I want to be a big dog.
Yep.
So I find my one friend who's willing to take me under his wing and kind of teach me the ropes and start working out.
Eagle Squad.
What was his name?
Let's see. His name was Rick, and he was a military veteran who had gotten drunk and shot up his house because he got into a fight with his wife. So this dude ended up doing 10 years.
Damn.
Yeah, he came from close custody. And it's crazy, because this dude had a bachelor's degree. He was a military officer, and just like that, it's easy as that. Like, I mean, it could happen to anybody. Yep. Really, it could really happen to anyone. He wasn't even a drug addict, but I remember what he said. He told me that when he gets out of prison, he's going to try shooting dope because he just can't understand why these guys keep coming back. He said, this stuff must be that good because these guys just keep coming back. He's like, I got to try it.
I hope Rick never tried it.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I don't know.
He was in there for 10 years.
Y'all weren't doing prison drugs together, like butt weed or anything like that?
But
so, I mean, yes and no. Like, it just kind of depends on where you're at. Like, so at Camp Walla Walla, where I was at, there wasn't a lot of action for drugs because when I was there, they didn't have any crews that went outside onto the streets. Yeah. They didn't have any work crews.
Is that where most of the drug flow comes from?
Yeah, so they can come in
like conjugals. You don't have any crooked COs or fucking.
They do have
yard fishing because I've seen people yard fish. I've seen TikToks where these motherfuckers got phones in prison and they fucking like throw a towel out with something on it and then they pull it back in and try and get the drugs that were thrown over the fence.
There is that. Yes, there is that, but it's a lot more scarce in places like Walla Walla because there's just not a lot of people there. It's a small town, and plus the walls are like 18 feet high. Yeah. Solid cement.
So it's easier to have a work crew come out or go out and then just come back come back in with it.
Yeah, that would be the best way to get them in at Walla
So
Walla.
the price of drugs were expensive then.
Oh, so expensive. In fact, I have a drug story
Okay.
where I got caught picking up a lot of drugs. So
With your butt?
well, they never got them in there.
Yeah.
I was trying.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
I never got them in there. So let's fast forward.
Okay.
Now I'm not at Walla Walla camp. I'm at Coyote Ridge camp. This is my second time in prison. So I'm out on the work crew, and I get word that there's gonna be a drop on the crew that I'm on. So every 2 weeks they send you on different crews, right? And I just happened to be on the crew that was getting the drop this week. So the dude catches me on the way to the mud room. That's where we like boot up and like sign out. And he tells me, hey, there's a drop out there. It's got hot ones. Bring it back. Whatever.
Hot ones?
Hot ones mean it's not just chew. It means it's got like
Oh yeah, real
meth
drugs.
or weed. Right. He tells me he's got a drop, that it's got hot ones, and that we need to get the hot ones back first, and that whatever comes back is 50-50. That's how it goes. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm down. Basically, in my mind, I'm like, if I can get these drugs back. Now, this time, I don't know what drugs there are, but I do know that a gram of meth in prison is about $100.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so all I'm thinking
I'm in
is
the wrong business.
yeah, I know. All I'm thinking is like, man, I need to get these drugs because I'm trying to get this money.
Yep.
Now this time I'm like super into working out, have no desire to do drugs whatsoever, but I do want to get that money. Yeah.
Need that money.
So I go out, right? We're driving to the spot.
Yep.
Me and the fellas are in the back of the van, and we look in the compound, and we see like a bag hanging out of this like shipping container, and now that's where the drop was supposed to be. So we're all in the van giving each other high fives. And
Yeah.
we're like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's celebrating. Everyone's like, can I get this? Can I get this? And we're just like all stoked, you know what I mean? Because these guys want to get chew, they want to get drugs, they want to get money, whatever. So anyway, we get to the shop, we open the garage. Now I walk out. Now as I walk out towards where the drop is, I look to the side of the road and I see a electricity, like it's like a county electric vehicle. Like they were working at this like electric plant. You know those like plants that like are encased by fence? They're
Yep.
like electric plants.
Power plant.
And it's not really a power plant, but it's like a small like
Transformer. place, yeah.
transformer
okay,
plant.
yeah.
Right. So oddly enough, like there's a van over there with like some utility workers. And I thought that was kind of strange because I'd never seen that before. But, you know, I didn't really think much of it. I was like, oh, I'm probably being paranoid, you know, whatever. It's nothing. It's county workers. So I go under the shipping container, grab the package, put it in my pants, put my shirt over it, tighten my buckle. Now I got it on me.
Yep.
So now I'm just waiting for an opportunity to get somewhere where I can open it up, divvy it out, and, you know, and after that, you know, it's a painful experience.
Yes.
So, riding around all day, we're going to these parks, we're mowing lawns, we're weed whacking, we're doing all this different stuff. Finally, I tell the CO that's like supervising us, who is like just a total bum, just like not paying attention to anything at all. I'm like, hey, like I need to go use the bathroom. He's like, okay, go ahead. So I go into the bathroom. This one dude follows me in there because he's just super anxious to get something.
Oh my god, he ruined it all.
Well, it was already ruined. It didn't really make a difference. But so we get in there. I unwrap the package. I open it up, and it's a bag inside of a bag, inside of a bag, inside of a bag with nothing in it.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And it smells like chew, but that's all it is. It's a bag full of nothing. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? At this point, I'm panicking. And the dude next to me is like, oh my god, what the fuck? He grabs it, puts it up in the window, and like we flush what we can flush. We kind of like hide what we can hide, and we come out the bathroom. Not but two minutes later, a bunch of DOC cars pull up, and DOC officers get out of the vehicle.
Damn.
They put us all against the wall, and one by one, they have us lined up against the wall with me at the end. They go down the line. They ask everybody along the line, "What do you know about the drop?" Everybody's like, "I don't know anything." Like, "What drop? You know, we don't know anything." And they're like, "Okay." And they get to me. They're like, "What do you know about the drop?" And I'm like, "I don't know anything about no drop." And then the cop goes, "Oh yeah?" Takes out his phone, shows me a picture of me
you?
putting the drop in my pants.
Dude.
So what happened was the utility workers across the street
Yep.
were actually the DOC officers with freaking binoculars, and they had set up cameras.
That's entrapment.
Oh yeah, dude. And it was like, well, so
Bro,
here's
you're
the
in
good
prison.
thing. Yeah, I'm in prison.
But that's still entrapment. I
Well-
mean, if they're the ones that did the drop.
They didn't do the drop.
They
picked
intercepted it.
They intercepted it.
That's fuck.
Yeah. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, fuck, all right. It was all me. These guys didn't know anything about it. You know, let's go. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm fucked. I'm like, dude, I don't know what was in there, but I know there was drugs. Now, I could catch new charges. I'm already doing 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do more. So these, they take me to the hole. I ended up doing 30 days in segregation. This is the worst time of my life. This is what they give you. They give you 2 books a week. One of those books is bound to be a romance novel. So you're already fucked.
Oh, you don't get to choose.
You don't get to choose shit. They
Damn.
give you what they give you. Half the time you're going to get a romance novel, and half the time you're going to get a Western.
Ooh.
And you're going to read these books like 3 times over before you get a new one.
Yep.
So, you know, memorizing these books like word for word, it was just the worst. Oh my God, just severe depression, anxiety, me thinking I'm going back to county to get new charges. And so I'm in there. I don't even know how long I don't even know what my sanction is. I don't even know what they found. It takes them 2 weeks to serve me papers. When they serve me the papers, I read the document. It's another discovery. You know, whenever you get caught, you will find out exactly how you got caught.
Discovery card.
Yeah. So I'm reading this paper, and it's like offender so and so, blah blah blah. So we intercepted 60 packages of pre-sealed chewing tobacco, 60 packages of smokable tobacco. It ended up being like 60 grams of marijuana and 32 grams of meth.
Damn, no one's gonna fit that up their butt.
And, well, it would have taken
The
all
whole
of us
car.
a whole week to get it all back. Yeah, it would have been like everyone's like taking 10 a day or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could never do 10. I could always the most I ever did was 8, and that made me bleed for like
Oh my God.
2 days.
Fuck that.
But
Fuck
so
that.
I'm thinking, dude, like I'm screwed. I'm going back to county. Well, what ended up happening was because DOC did not involve outside in law enforcement, they could only sanction me according to prison regulations or whatever, you know what I mean? So I ended up getting a prison sanction versus like outside new charges, which was great for me. I was, happy about that. But I got stuck in medium security for 2 years. And so that was where I had most of my experiences in prison, with a lot of violence. There's a lot of sex offenders. There's a lot of people doing life. That's where you just really I hadn't even seen prison until I saw the medium. Because when you're in camp, everyone's got like 3 years or less. Everyone has a lot of freedom. There might be like 300 guys in camp and only like 2 guards. but it's in medium. You're in a unit with like 100 guys, and you've got like 2 guards in a watchtower, 2 guards in the day room. So you're a lot more monitored, but that's where I had like I'd been through a prison riot. We had to go on a hunger strike. That's where a lot of the white supremacy is.
For what?
Oh, so there's a lot of different stories, but so
I want to hear the riot story too.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Why were you?
Why did
rioting?
y'all riot for?
okay, so the riot when the riot happened, it was a race war. It was the one that actually happened was between the blacks and the whites, and it was I don't remember why there was a fight, but basically what happened was one of the guys who was affiliated with the white supremacists had gotten into one of the guys who was affiliated with like it was a black gang. It was like I can't remember the gang, Gangster Disciple or something.
GD.
GD. It was GD. Yeah, yes, exactly. So it was a white supremacist and GD had gotten into an altercation, and these guys got into a fight. Well, once they started fighting, everybody from the gang in that unit started fighting. So there was like, it was like 23 different people, I believe. One dude got his head bashed in by some hair clippers. Yeah, these are so like a heavy pair of hair clippers. Dude was like swinging it around and fucking smashed him on the head. And the white dude, it was the white dude who got hit in the head.
Yeah.
No, he didn't die. He was severely injured. There was we ended up getting locked down for like 3 weeks. Locked in our cells, served meals in our cells, like let out one at a time to take a shower every like 2 days. Like they don't even have to let you shower every day. Like it's the most they have to let you shower is like once every 2 or 3 days or something like that. And so it was like a lot of bird bath, like showering in your sink.
Yep.
No
working out either too, huh?
Oh, there was working out.
Push-ups and
oh yeah,
shit.
I was
You
working
work out in your cell,
I
but
work out in my cell,
but
yeah. Not outside.
no
You're not
weights.
getting out to lift no weights. No way. Nope. They're not letting you out. Not when there's a riot.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just crazy because I mean, like I'm in the shower and I hear like some commotion and I look out and there's just like a swarm of dudes, just like everyone's like fighting. Like I see the dude get clipped by the hair clippers, and he's just leaking blood. So there's blood everywhere. Immediately, like 20 cops come in. There's pepper spray.
Yeah.
So everyone's like choking. You know what I mean? I'm fucking half naked in the shower, trying to wash my ass and like fucking getting pepper spray in my fucking eyes.
Was it a real riot then?
Yeah, it was considered a riot because it was more than 2 people.
it's like 30 people, bro.
And it was a gang affiliated fight. So it was about
I thought a riot was the people versus the police.
well, so there's riots like that too, but
Yeah.
more often than not, the riots that actually happen are like
gang shit.
gang shit. Yeah, like it's at least what I've seen. Now, there's been 3 separate episodes. 2 of them ended up not being anything, but like it was a scare. It was like, oh, like you guys better be ready to like fight with your race because shit's about to go down. And like I'm just like, dude, I'm not trying to do that. Like I'm trying to go home.
Why do people click up like that?
It's old timey, man.
I mean,
yeah, I mean,
so
It's just tradition. In prison, it never changed.
it's a tradition that
It's probably just a tradition. That's how I would see it.
people are scared.
Do the white guys ever be kicking it with the black people?
yeah, absolutely. Like it's
Do white people
There's-
ever be fighting for the black people?
no. There are white people who click up with the black gangs. Like, so there are people who are white who go to prison and they're like, hey, like, I'm a Crip. Or, you know what I mean? So this is basically what the unit looks like. You got 2 sides, right?
Mm.
And on one side, you got the whites, you got the Serenos, which are like...
So the jail already segregates you guys.
No.
Oh.
This is all done by the inmates. Like,
because I thought everybody had the same cell.
So basically, you got a big... Okay, imagine this. It's like a big room, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, along the walls are all the doors. So if you think of this big room with all the doors along the wall, those are the cells.
I've seen like
Now the
60
day
Days
room,
In.
exactly, just like 60 Days In.
Yeah.
Medium security is like identical to 60 Days In. That's how the day room, the cells on the against the wall, it's all the same.
So when everybody comes out their cells and they're in the day room, that's when they click up.
Basically, yeah. So when you come out, you got two sides to the day room. You got the white side, which is whites, Serenos, and natives, I think. And then you got the black side, which is the blacks, the rapists, and the API.
What's API?
Asian Pacific Islander. So that'll be like your Ooses, like your Tongans, Tongan brothers and stuff. And why people click up? I wouldn't know that because I just like, I mean, basically, like you said, maybe they're scared. That's the only reason I can think of.
Just
but I think it's kind of more like a popularity contest. Like everybody wants to be popular. It's kind of like a high school mentality in there. You know what I mean? And there's the cool kids, and then there's like everyone else. And so, oddly enough, the cool kids are the ones who are stuck in the 40s with this racist mentality, like, but it's not even real because I know these guys from the streets, you know what I mean? I know they're not racist. Like, my homeboy, like, I know him from the streets. He always would hang out with his black homies, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, he goes to prison and, like, he's a skinhead. I'm like, how? What? No, like, I know you, dude. Come on. You can't trick me. You can't fool me. But
shit's wild, bro.
Put on a persona.
Yeah, it's mostly like an act when people get in there.
Well, so that's what I was saying. Like, if you say, because, you know, like, I'm sure you probably associated with everybody or whatever.
Exactly.
Kind of. So when a riot breaks out and it's like that, do you, like, be punching dudes in the face? I'm sorry, I don't mean to fucking... But it's like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
It's not. He's in the shower, bro. He ain't.
I was in the shower.
I'm just saying,
luckily.
like, you said there was a couple times, so I'm saying, like,
no, they
just, like, don't go after the people you know.
The white dudes expect you to roll with them. So, basically, if the shit goes down and you don't roll with your race, you get X'd out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so I was definitely expected to fight with the whites. Now...
That's what I'm saying. Like, so, like, if it came down to you having to fight one of the black dudes that you know, are you pulling punches or?
Man, that's really hard to say because I've never been in a situation where I had to do that.
Oh, okay.
But like, they definitely would have expected me to, and if I didn't, then it would have been trouble for me. So.
Good thing he was in the shower and didn't have to be a part of that shit.
I'm just fortunate enough that every time the shit went down, like, I was safe. Well, the only time the shit actually went down, I was in the shower. But the other times when it went down, like, I almost had to, like, you know what I mean? It was like, there was, like, tension. Like, we're out on the yard, and you got, like, everyone's showing their force. So you got, like, every race is in different corners of the yard, right? Everyone's like flexing on each other, like trying to show their force. Exactly. And you got like hella dudes, like me, I'm around hella dudes who like don't want to fight. You know what I mean? They're like, they just want to get out. They just want to go home. They want to do their time and get out. They're not even racist. They're not into all that shit, but like, if it goes down and you don't roll with your race, then you're gonna get X'd out and you're gonna have to sit with the rapos. Oh, and that's another thing. So you got one side is the whites, one side is the blacks, and then in the middle of the day room, that's where the sex offenders stand. They don't get to sit.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's hella funny.
Yeah.
Bro, so
I thought they put the rapos and shit on PC or whatever the fuck. Like, special unit, fucking...
They have a special facility for rapists, but there's so many of them that they're just everywhere.
Damn.
They have one facility that has the sex offender treatment,
Yeah.
whatever, and then that's in Monroe. It's called Twin Rivers.
Yeah.
And then, but they also they only go there for their treatment program. So you got all the sex offenders there while they're doing their treatment.
Wait a second. So is Monroe only
No,
sex offenders?
every prison has different facilities,
Okay, all right.
different, so they've got
I was gonna say, because I know someone that was in Monroe. And
Yeah.
they were fucking rape.
no, it's
I
not
recall
only
it.
sex offenders.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Did you? All right. Obviously, you came out of prison with the right attitude this last time. What'd you learn while you were in there? Did you have an opportunity to learn some shit?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I got about I got 80 credits, 80 college credits while I was in there. I mean,
Yeah.
I made the most of it while I could. And there's a lot of good programs in there for education, They got HVAC, they got welding, and I couldn't get into that because of that whole me trying to pick up that drop.
Mm-hmm.
Me getting in trouble. So when you get in trouble, you get excluded from being able to do those kinds of vocational training and stuff.
Yeah.
But for some reason or another, I was able to go to school. So
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. Were you able to go to school?
yeah, so I did get 80 college credits out of 90 for an associate's in business.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't finish it because I basically I got out. Long story short, I got out. There's kind of more to it. They changed the program right before I was going to graduate to a different degree, and they no
What?
longer offered the classes that I needed.
Did you get out and finish?
I did not. I got out and got into
You still
something
have
else.
those credits?
Dude, I've got 140 credits right now, which is you need 90 for an associate's, but I still don't have a degree.
So, hella college credits. You got your personal trainer certificate.
I did.
You got your personal trainer certificate. Bodybuilding
Specialist, and CPR AED certification.
Yep.
I'm working on nutrition right now.
Yep.
And then I have strength and conditioning, and that'll put me at a level 4 master personal trainer certificate.
It's a
It's
It's a big dog.
it's a big dog shit.
it's a fucking Spartan personal fitness
Yeah,
trainer.
why don't you plug your
Yeah.
Instagram?
Plug right now.
Oh yeah. So you can find me on Instagram, Spartan PF88.
Yep.
That's where I'm working on putting some videos together and advertising my services as a personal trainer. And yeah, man, I mean, health, fitness.
It's working on
It's-
Nick.
it's
If you
the
go back,
key.
If you go back and look at episode 1 and you look at episode 10, Nick's way bigger.
Yeah, and with you guys, I've seen some serious gains. And man, I'm just so stoked for you guys that you're so into it now, and I'm glad I could spread that
That's why I said
That
your prison cup
joy,
overflowed.
Yeah,
It's crazy, man. Life is so much better.
it is.
I tell you guys that every day, but
Yeah.
that balance
Mm-hmm.
of that pain, it lets you enjoy the rest of your day.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least feel like it's like you worked for it, instead of just fucking being lazy ass for no reason. Now you're tired because you done pushed yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're doing this shit every day too.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Fucking-
No rest.
All right. Well, now that you've told us some prison stories, do you feel like the prison needs to be reformed in any way, or the system in
What
general?
would you? Yeah,
I mean, obviously the system's not perfect.
yeah.
How
I
would
mean,
you
there's-
change it?
Okay, so
Coming from an alleged criminal.
how I would change it is, so, I mean, it's tough, man, because you got guys in there that, they're the reasons why there aren't the freedoms that we used to have. You know what I mean? They take advantage of the system and they ruin it for everyone else. So it's hard to say that I think prison should be reformed, because when you see how these dudes act, it's like, how can you expect any different? I mean, like, if I was on the side of the state or the guards or whatever power represents the prison, like, I would probably feel and act the same way, because these guys are idiots.
Yeah.
You know? There's a lot of not all of them. There's a lot of smart people. There's a lot of good people in prisons, but there's also people who really deserve to be there and who aren't going to get better. So it's hard to say that I think the prison system should be reformed, because, I mean, a lot of people don't deserve it.
It felt like it worked.
And it worked for me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's definitely a lot of things that, aren't fair. I mean, if that's a basis for a need for change, I don't know, because, what's fair isn't always what's right, or what's fair isn't always what's good for people. So, but I mean, like, just being a nutritionist now, or being on the level of, like, becoming a nutritionist and realizing what they feed you in prison, I do think that is a little messed up. In fact, that's why we went on a hunger strike.
In
prison.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so basically, and it was on the news too. So for like 3 weeks, nobody ate any prison meals. Like we were eating, but it was behind closed doors, and we were eating commissary. Yeah, so like we had to save up and make sure we had food for this. But like it was like made well known that nobody was to go to mainline. Like, if you went to mainline is, like, where you go to get food. Mm-hmm. It was, like, everyone made it known that if you go to mainline, like, you're getting clipped. Like, watch your back.
You're going to get hit with clippers again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it was just about the food because of what they were feeding us. Like, it's just a lot of soy. It's a lot of bullshit. Like, they really want to keep you, like...
Low
testosterone, exactly. Yeah. Soy has a lot of bad properties. It does reduce your testosterone. You know what I mean? It's there's nothing really good in it.
Soy boys.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, that's what it was all about, was the nutrition. It's,
So did you guys win?
Well, I guess it kind of depends on your definition of what a win would be.
Yeah.
I mean, it got better for a couple weeks.
And then it went back to the bullshit?
I mean, basically, like, so the main problem was that, like, they were feeding, for breakfast, you would pick up this, like, little package, like, it's like a lunch pack, basically, and it had, like, a small bag of cereal, small bag of powdered milk, a muffin, and, like, what would you call, like, a bran bar? Yeah, like carbs. It was just bullshit. It was really bad. Like, what we wanted, I say we, like the prison population, what everyone wanted was to have real breakfast, like hard-boiled eggs or, oatmeal or something like that, something healthy. And what we were getting was not that. And so at the end of the hunger strike, yes, they brought back breakfast. Now, what they did was they basically took that lunch, that fucking breakfast boat that we got, they split it up and put it on a tray.
Damn.
with some hard-boiled eggs and, like, oatmeal. And so, yeah, I mean, in essence, we won. It was a compromise. I mean, it was a win. It was a win.
How long did that last?
I mean, as far as I know, it's still going on.
Nice.
And it definitely, it's, the state was saving, like, some millions of dollars by feeding us the boats.
I'm surprised they didn't have, like, powdered egg option or some shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, they do have that on commissary. They have a powdered egg option, but, it's not like, not everybody can afford.
Yeah. No, of course.
Yeah.
Not everybody's selling drugs in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Hey, we're at 55 minutes. Does it feel like you've been talking for 55 minutes, dog?
It doesn't, man. It feels like I just got here.
Shit's
Fucking
crazy.
big dog.
Mm-hmm.
One more time, plug your Instagram.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, Spartan Personal Fitness 88.
Yep.
Spartan PF 88.
Spartan PF 88.
Yep.
At Instagram.
At Instagram, yep.
Go heart some of them videos.
Find them on TikTok at Curl Monkey.
Yeah.
Curl Monkey.
You can find me on TikTok, Curl Monkey. I think what is the O and A or something in the Curl Monkey? I can't remember how I did it. It's kind of tricky spelling.
I think you had it at a 0.
Oh yeah, the O is a 0.
I'm trying to see.
Curl Monkey, all one word.
Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Let's see.
But yeah, I'll be adding some more content to that soon and try and update that to get ready to.
Yeah, it's Curl Monkey with a 0 as the O.
Yeah.
Got some fire on there.
I'll probably have you send me how to spell that, and I'll just put it in the description.
Oh yeah,
we could tag all his links in the bio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Bro, Alex, thanks for coming and telling us your shit, dude. I know some of that shit's kind of personal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's a legend.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I definitely came out stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yep.
So here I am today. Thank you guys for having me.
Yep, for sure.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
Pale Horse.
Wait.
What?
Shout out to Sharon for the shirt.
Oh, shout out to Mom.
Oh yeah, shout out to Pale Horse Podcast.
And
Got these shirts.
my boy Wayne, he sent me a picture the other day. He's got the American flag one in the works too. And that shit's looking real filthy. And if you guys do want one, comment we want a shirt so that I know how many to make. And then we'll get those things going. But yeah, thank you. This is the Pale Horse. And
We're out of here.
we'll see you next time. Bye,
All right.
everybody.
The Pale Horse Podcast. It's time to wake up the sleeping. Subscribe and like for more videos. Stay informed.